Moshi, welcome to my channel. My name is Gary, also known as Garishma. Now, I'm what you call a multi-level nerd, and I would like to be your guide into the deep dive of what nerd culture has to offer. Starting with two of my favorite series with some of the best characters and world building overall, Pokemon and One Piece. Now I saw this idea of which Pokemon the Straw Hats would use pop up on Reddit, and I thought it'd be fun to go through and pick a squad of 6 for each member. I love One Piece and I love Pokemon because of how wacky and crazy the world and the characters can really be. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and start it off with the leader, Monkey D. Luffy himself. He would have a Mankey for sure. A Mankey and an Apom. They would get into a lot of trouble together. They'd be messing around all the time. He'd have a Munchlax, eating all the food from the crew, causing trouble in towns, eating all their food. I could see Luffy just because, he likes to throw hands. I could see him having a Lucario or a Scrafty. The Scrafty's fitting, kind of has a similar design, I think. And last but not least would be Dewat, because Luffy has disciples that are Confu Dongs, and this is a fighting water type. Looks very similar to that. Following up, Luffy is going to be Nami. Now, she would have a Dragonair due to the fact that they can control weather, and she is their weather mage. Nami would also have a cast form. It's got boobs. It changes form based off of the weather, so Nami would have a cast form. I could also see her having a Flaffy. I think about it. It's fluffy, it's cute, and it can produce electricity. It's an electric type. It fits her moveset. Nami would have a Zorua, not just because it's cute, because it's known as the trickster Pokemon. It's known for its illusions and being able to deceive people, which Nami as a cat burglar has lots of experience with. And she has the power to create illusions with her Phantom Morgana, which is actually based off a real-life weather phenomenon. Nami would definitely have a Probopass due to the fact that it evolves based off of magnetic waves from Mount Coronet. The log poses lock on to a specific magnetic field being put off of certain islands, and that's how they traverse from island to island. And last but not least, you would have an Emolga that is a flying and electric type. I feel like that embodies her moveset very well, but it's also really cute. So I plan to cover all of the Straw Hats, but we're going to finish off with Brook, because I love Brook. So first off, he would have a Whale Lord because of Laboon. It's just fitting, and it is perfect in my opinion. Next, he would have a Ludicolo. I could just see him jamming out with the Ludicolo, putting on a show, being goofy. He would also have a Chatot, the musical bird Pokemon. It's just fitting. He's a musician. Next would be Spiritomb. I feel like this one doesn't need much explanation. He is the Soul King. It is a Pokemon that you get from collecting 100 soul pieces and putting them into a keystone, then allowing you to encounter a Spiritomb. And Brook's the Soul King, so it's just a fitting Pokemon for him to have. That and Trevenant, just with the way it looks, with the aesthetic, it's fitting for him. I'd say Houndoom if it wasn't for the fact that he has ice powers. And speaking of ice powers, Brook's last Pokemon would be Glalie. If you take a look at the design